Kashi and for a wonderful session. And Hemangini ji, hope you feel better with your cold. You were sounding really cold stricken. So, all right. So, Radhe Radhe, good morning, good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to today's edition of Daily Wisdom from Bhagavad Gita. So, we will continue on Shloka 4.38. Today will be the concluding session on this particular Shloka. So, and then we will do our soul soup segment where we are talking about stress. So we'll go a little deeper into the topic that we started yesterday as part of Success, Fulfillment, and Happiness series. So very welcome to all of you. Let me share my screen and we will get started with our session then. Able to see my screen? All right, so let's get started with our opening prayers. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. Okay, Radhe Radhe. Good morning, good evening to all of you once again. So let's get started, like we always do, with our soul soup segment. So, what is the root cause for stress? We started with that yesterday. And we looked at, what psychologists say, what is stress, right? When we don't have enough resources to deal with different situations around us, that causes stress. And today we will move a little further to see, why stress is caused. Now, let's look at it a little deeper. Does stress happen because of work? Is the question. If we are working, does it cause that? Normally, people, when they're working, that's when they feel stressed out, right? Does it happen because of work? Actually, it does not. It's not because of work. So let's think a little deeply about it. Does not happen because of work at all. So why does it happen? It actually happens because of attachment to a particular outcome. We are attached to a particular outcome and we are worried that things may not turn out as we desire. And that causes stress. A business person is attached to making profits, but fears incurring a loss, and that can cause stress. Sales representative, who have some annual targets to meet, they are stressed out, thinking that if they're not able to meet the targets, it will not be good for them. And the condition of stress ensues. And then the reason for that is our unwillingness to accept other possible outcomes. That is the key reason. So it's not caused by hard work. In fact, a lot of people, they do hard work, but there's no reason for stress at all. So let's say there's a student who has an exam in the morning and you ask that person and that person is saying, I'm really stressed, my exam is really stressing me out. And if you ask that student, is it the tension because of the intense study that you are doing? Then if you think deeply about it, it's not that. It's actually the study is not the cause of the anxiety. It is attachment to the particular outcome. What if I fail? What if, things don't turn out as I wish? And then when we are emotionally invested in a particular outcome, that causes stress. Now, I'll tell you a story about it. Like Bhagavad Gita has a verse around it, right? We spent about a week on that. Karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachan, right? 2.47, where Lord Krishna is saying you have a right to perform your actions, but you're not entitled to the fruit. Relish your work and offer it fruits to God. That's the real sense. Now we'll conclude this and move on to the next with a few anecdotes or stories from Bal Gangadhar Tilak's life. He was believed to be a Karam Yogi, reputed as a Karam Yogi, in fact, in his times as well. So once what happened was, the British police came to him and said, we want to arrest you under section 124. And when they came to arrest him, he said, can you give me 5 minutes? So what does he do in 5 minutes? So he said he spoke to his friend and said, can you consult a lawyer to find out what were his rights under section 124? And once you consult that, you can come to the jail and let me know what are my rights. And after that, he said, all right, I'll escort you to the jail. And then he went to the jail. So when his friend came, after consulting the attorney, this Bal Gangadhar is soundly asleep like a child. No worries whatsoever. He was solution oriented. Of course, he wants to know, he's going to the jail. He wants to know what are his rights. But beyond that, he was like completely, fully asleep, completely detached to the outcome at all. There was another story around this as well, where he was working in his office and his clerk came and he said, your elder son is extremely unwell when he was working in the middle of his work. So what does he say? He says, can you get a doctor to see him? Now, after half an hour later, a friend came and said, your son is unwell and you're not worried. He said, how will worrying help me? I've asked doctor to see me. Else can I do? Right. So just think about his mindset, how detached he is to this problem, and but at the same time, he's solution oriented. It's not like he's not even thinking about the solution and acting out of panic, right, which can happen to most of the people. And the third one is the best one, where somebody asked him because he was one of the he was fighting that freedom struggle for India and one of the key members of that. So somebody asked him, what would you like to become when India gets independence? Would you like to become a prime minister? Would you like to become a foreign minister, president? What would you like to become? He said, my ambition was always to write a book on differential calculus. I'll fulfill it. That's all. Okay. So he was leading a national movement and yet he was so detached to this whole thing. Okay, so these were some of the anecdotes. So just think about the mindset that person is having. So basically, stress is not caused by work or the situation around us. It is our emotional investment in a particular outcome that causes us stress. Now we will continue to peel some more layers on this topic tomorrow. Yes, I see a couple of hands already raised. Yes, Kumarji.
Kumarji, please go ahead.
Jai Shri Ram, Jai Hanumanji. Yes, this is a very key point, right? And suddenly this came to my mind. In my school days, I used to be constantly under stress. Initially, when I was not a good student, I wanted to, ensure that I passed all the subjects. So I was like a borderline student initially, right? And then once I became a good student, I wanted to be top of the class. Every time I was in stress. Now, there were a set of people who were never in stress. These people knew they would fail, right? They would never be in stress, while everyone else would be stressed for the exams, even till the last minute. Just thought I would share. Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram, thank you. Yes. So when you enjoy the journey, outcome usually takes care of itself and you focus on the process aspect of it. I think I had narrated a similar story during my study days when I was doing my master's. When I was just enjoying the journey, I was scoring really well. And when I started thinking about the result, that was the first time I started slipping. I could actually practically see that. And interestingly, I was reading Bhagavad Gita those days and I could immediately map it to that concept, right? But Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he was a reputed Karam Yogi. And these three stories, which are very nicely captured by Swamiji, are really reference to, what a mindset of a Karam Yogi should be. In fact, even I've heard about Mr. Modi ji that when the election results and all that stuff was going on, he was actually meditating calmly. So there was no panic or no excitement or no anxiety about how the result is going to look like. So when we are able to do that and we are able to pull out this knowledge in those times, that's when we are truly cutting a spiritual corner. So with that, we can take inspiration from it and let's move on to our topic of our discussion from Sandhya, you wanted to say something as well. Go ahead.
Just wanted to confirm, nervousness also fall in the same category, right?
Nervousness also falls into the same category. Little bit of nervousness is fine. Sportsmen are good at channelizing that nervousness, that butterflies in the stomach kind of a deal. But eventually, you'll be completely at peace. Like you just think about what is the best you can do in that situation, right? His son is unwell, and he said, "All right, can you consult a doctor around it and not panicking at every moment." But yeah, nervousness initially is fine, but if beyond a point, it should settle down. What is it that you can do? See, I'll take this story a little extreme, Prahlad's story, right? When he sent his son, again, I'll not go to detail in this into the story. He was a king, and when his son was in a bed with his guru's son, that guru's superior, and came to Prahlad judgment on that, and whoever was supposed to lose the bet was supposed to be sent to gallows. And Prahlad said, Guru's son is superior to you. And then he had to send his own son to the gallows. And he said, all right, send it out if that was the bet. He did not ban. And then his Guru son said, can you excuse him because I have a superior position than you? And he said, yeah, okay, bring him back. So he was completely detached to it. So that mindset is a very advanced mindset, right? But for us, bit of nervousness is fine as long as we are able to channelize it and doesn't paralyze our performance, right? If Tendulkar walks out to bat when he used to, or Kohli, nervousness can paralyze them, but if they can channelize that nervousness to perform better, then it is fine, right? In that sense. But Karam Yoga part of it, where you're not attached to the, not emotionally invested in the particular outcome. Yes, Pallavi ji, you wanted to add something?
Ramya, Radhe Radhe. So Sri Ramya ji has asked that not enough preparation can also cause stress, isn't it?
No, then it should not cause stress. It should actually reflect on, all right, I need to work hard. Then you have a reality check. Okay, I'm not prepared well. I'll still give it my best given whatever I have prepared, but then I'm prepared for the worst in that case, right? Because I know I have not prepared well. It actually, if you think about it, then you should not, I mean, it like you should have an acceptance around it. Nervousness, we should not find reasons to become nervous. Oh my God, that kind of living with an exclamation mark is not good, neither for our health, nor for our spiritual growth, nor for our journal well-being. And then beyond a point, it becomes a nature. You just seek reasons to become nervous, right? Every second thing will make you know, oh my God, this has come, or this work has come. How will I do that? I have to do this. It's just a mindset thing. People who are relaxed always have time for everything. They think, okay, what can I do best in this situation? And they're always thinking about the solution as opposed to thinking about the problem in their head and becoming paralyzed with that. Yes, Sandhya, you wanted to add something else?
Just this, that sense of doership is also responsible for stress, because like we think it's all dependent upon
Yeah,
me.
when
And
you're emotionally invested, that sense of doership is there as well, right? Why does a salaried employee does not stress? Because he knows he's going to get his salary regardless. But the person whose bonus is linked to the sales is stressed out. Because similarly, when we think it's end of the day, the fruits of my effort are supposed to be to be offered to God, and end of the day, everything is in his hands. When you have that safety net in your mind or that firm knowledge, then you will not stress out. You will just focus on doing your best in a particular situation. It's only when we think I am doing it and I'm going to enjoy, or I will not have a favorable outcome as I think it should be, that's when the stress comes. And that sense of I is also there for sure. That's what causes stress too. Yeah. But when you think it's boss job, it's company, do you worry about your company? You don't. You're not invested in it, right? Emotionally, because you think company is there. So similarly, when you offload it to God, you're thinking end of the day, he knows what's good or bad. You'll not stress out. It's only when you are emotionally invested or you thinking about that particular thing that what causes stress. So easier said than done, but that's what we need to practice. Okay, that's how it goes. Okay, so now let's move on to our shloka. I have included another shloka to take the discussion forward. And in addition to this one, so we'll take a few hands on this and few on the other one and then get the discussion going. It's going to be a very interesting discussion today. Nahi jnanena sadrishyam pavitram iha vidyate tat swayam yoga sansiddha kalenatmani vindati. Let's take a few hands.
Sri Ramya ji, Radhe
Radhe.
Radhe, please go ahead. I think I lost her. Okay, I'll come back to you, Sri Ramya ji. Meanwhile, Shyam ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe. Nahi jnanena sadrashyam pavitramiha vidyate tat swayam yoga sansiddha kalenatmani vindati. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe, Radhe. We'll take two more hands on this one.
Yeah, Sri Ramya ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead. Sorry about it before.
Radhe,
नाहि ज्ञानेन सदृशां पवित्रामिह विद्यते तत्स्वयं योगसंसिद्धा कालेनात्मनि विन्दति. Thank
very
you,
nice.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe, Radhe. Thank you.
Rahul ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Rahul.
Radhe Radhe. नहि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते तत्स्वयं योग संसिद्धः कालेनात्मनि विन्दति.
Very nice. We'll take the remaining hands on the next shloka, and next shloka is one of my favorite shlokas as well. It's very good. In fact, one of the initial shlokas which I came across, and I really liked it. So, anyway, this shloka says, in this world there is nothing as purifying as divine knowledge. One who has attained purity of mind through prolonged practice of yoga receives such knowledge within the heart in due course of time. So this is the one, and then this is the another one that I picked up. It's 10:10. तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन मापुपयान्ति ते. Now this shloka, the reason I like is because I used to initial days read Bhagavad Gita with a lot of Gyan yogis. Now in this shloka, Lord Krishna is so clearly saying Tesham Satat, he's saying Bhajatam, the one who worships him, Priti Purvakam, with love. Then he says Dadami Buddhi Yogam. I'm going to explain that a little more. But this one he's very clearly saying how to basically access this knowledge and how this knowledge fructifies into wisdom and experience. And what is the significance of bhakti on the path of even acquiring knowledge? This shloka nails that argument very, very clearly. Okay, let's take a few hands and then we'll get deeper into the shloka.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe. Pratyusha ji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe.
Aditya.
तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन मामुपयान्ति ते.
Very nice. Thank you, Patusha. Okay, let's take the remaining hands real quick.
Yeah, Sandhya
Hands are
ji,
there today.
Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन माम् उपयान्ति ते.
All right, let's take a couple more hands. I see a new name today, Rupal ji.
Yes.
And then
Rupal ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Thank you for turning on your video.
तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन मामुपयान्ति ते.
Wonderful.
Radhe
Radhe Radhe Rupal ji, where are you joining us from?
Mumbai.
Mumbai. Welcome to the session. I hope you've been there for a while or it's your first
So
time?
during lockdown I joined for some sessions. Then due to my work schedule I could not.
No, welcome back. Hopefully, we are going to lock you down here now. Okay. Let's take the remaining hands. Let's freeze the number
Yes.
of hands and move
Yes.
quickly. I see a lot of hands, so let's quickly do that. We have a lot of content to cover.
Yes, Sam ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Samji.
Tesham sattva-yuktanam bhajtam priti-purvakam dadami buddhi-yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Yes, Pallavi ji, you can go next. Let's take
Yes.
reference to videos.
तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन माम् उपयान्ति ते.
Wonderful. Falguni ji.
Falguni ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
सततायुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन माम् उपयन्ति ते. Radhe
Wonderful.
Radhe.
You. Okay, Pragi ji.
Yes, Pragi ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Radhe Radhe. तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन मामुपयान्ति ते.
Thank you, Pragi ji. Last
Thank
but not
you.
least, Priya ji, please
Yeah,
go ahead.
Priya ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन माम् उपयान्ति ते.
Well, thank you. So this shloka, thank you, Riyaji. This shloka, Lord Krishna is saying 10:10, you can remember it always, right? To those whose minds are always united with me, pay attention to every word. Satata yuktanam. Always is the key, right? Even to Arjun, he says, Sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmar yuddhasya, Sarveshu kaleshu satatam. These words are very, very important. That means it has to be continuous. Continuous means like oil is dropping. When oil is dropping, there is continuity in it. There is no break in between. So that is the state we have to reach. Okay. Our mind is, we have to take it to God, right? Stimulus or triggers we need for that. But the final state or end state or the desired state is to have that continuity where you're always absorbed in God. And loving devotion, Preeti Purvakam. Right? It is Sanskrit, even Hindi we can understand. He's very clearly saying loving devotion. Then he gives the divine knowledge. What happens? He gives the divine knowledge by which they can attain me. Okay, it's even towards the end of Bhagavad Gita, Arjun says Tat Prasadat Param. With your grace, now I've understood it. So we have to understand it's not I who can acquire it. We need God's grace even for this knowledge to fructify or to reveal itself or to, for this knowledge to become wisdom inside us. So let's move on and get to the topic of our discussion today. So 4.3, it is what we are discussing about. So here you see, okay, you don't have to worry about it. So somebody's trying to, something has happened on their foot and they are trying to take the nail out of their foot. So when you have a thorn of ignorance inside, and with the thorn of theoretical knowledge, we do sadhana. Okay. So the point here is that knowledge you use, it's like a thorn, and then you use that to take out the thorn of ignorance. And that is a theoretical knowledge. And then once the thorn is taken out, then thorn is no longer needed. Basically, that is how it goes. Because knowledge has an end. Knowledge actually peaks beyond. Once that ignorance is removed, then you don't need that at all. The tool or the theoretical knowledge that we are looking at, right? Now, if you look at the biggest gap in this world is to difference between the theoretical understanding and the practical implementation aspect of it. The theoretical knowledge is the means, but it can be dangerous too because you can have pride also. So if you get a lot of theoretical knowledge, but you are not practically implementing it or practicing it, or it is not becoming a realization, then what will happen is it can lead to pride. And just seeking knowledge without actually implementing it, it is also called Shastra Vasana, one of the vasanas that our scriptures are asking us to be wary of or to refrain from, stay away from. Understand knowledge and try to implement it, right? If you keep on learning the cooking recipes and never taste the gulab jamun or rasmalai, then what's the point of learning all the recipes? So it's important to implement whatever little knowledge we have understood. And then the pride aspect also has to be kept in check. It can only become useful when you are properly utilizing it, and theoretical knowledge is needed to shun all the doubts developed because of ignorance since infinite lifetime. So we have an ignorance, and then we need knowledge so that we can remove that. However, there's a trick. Like if you look at the example, you keep on doing the recipes, right? What's the point basically? You know all the recipes, but if you have never tasted it, then it doesn't serve the purpose. So you may acquire theoretical knowledge on the topics of soul, God, Maya, Karam, Gyan, Bhakti, but it does not make a person God realized. Theory is theory. Okay, now let's get into some of. Now you see something here. I think you see a lot of things here. So here's a sea, is a vast ocean, and then in addition to that, we have a boat, right? So our scriptures tell us that this vast ocean is nothing but the material world, which is fraught with dangers at every step. Now, this ocean may seem placid and calm, but let's say it's a shark-infested one. Okay, that is what Bhav Sagar or Bhavatavi is this world, and it keeps tossing us around in the cycle of birth and death. So, and it is fraught with dangers at every step. Nobody's immune from that, right? Japan was happily sitting on prosperity until a tsunami of 9.2 Richter scale hit them and caused such a big devastation. Anything can happen to anybody, okay? It doesn't mean we live in a paranoia, but fact is like material world, right? We come to know so many times, oh, that person was crossing the road and this happened and that happened. So this material world is fraught with danger at every time, and that is the uncertainty we all have to live with. In fact, this is one of the things that even in Mahabharat, when Yaksh story is there, right? Yaksh, when he was Pandavas were going to get water from the well, and then he was asking questions, and then finally Yudhishthir went, and one of the questions that he asked him, Kim Ashcharyam, Kim Ashcharyam, what is the biggest Ashcharya or surprise in this world? And the biggest Ashcharya and the surprise in this world, Yudhishthir replied to him, is the fact that we all are seeing deaths happening left, right, and center, and still this reality does not sink in us that we'll also have to leave one day. We think, all right, somebody died, but I'm fine. But fact is that we all are have limited time, and death, or basically age, is not related to how old are we. Age is related to how far away we are from the exit from this world. Same thing Hiranyakashyap had asked, right? Prahlad had said that, how do I know if somebody is supposed to depart at the age of 12, he's fairly old even at the age of 10. And if somebody is supposed to depart at 90, they are young at the age of 70 also. So really depends on, and nobody knows that. That's a fact. But this, how do we navigate? The boat is the knowledge that helps us navigate this ocean of miseries. That is where knowledge comes in. Just think about it. Just by contemplating on these shlokas, we have been able to make so much of this, difference in our day-to-day lives. The perspective that we carry, the way we go about dealing with, tricky situations in our life. Where is that power coming from? Knowledge. So knowledge is something that helps us navigate this ocean of miseries. But there's a trick to that knowledge as well, right? We are doing it and we're thinking, it is getting in, but how is it getting enabled in us? Let's try to understand that as well. So you see something here? Okay, this is soul. Just imagine this is soul. I've magnified it. First of all, converted it from being divine to material, and then magnified it billion times. Okay, that is why you're able to see it. So this is soul. And then you have some layers. You see layers? So many layers. What are these? These layers are the layers of ignorance on top of us, right? They're like peel something. So these are all layers of ignorance. And then comes in the light of knowledge. That is what we are trying to get at, that light of knowledge is making its way. And when the light of knowledge starts coming, what happens? A layer goes away, something happens to the soul. Another layer comes away, something happens. Another one, something happens, another one. So basically the soul will start manifesting its true qualities and it will shine forth, right? It has started shining, if you see that. So this is what happens when the knowledge comes in. It starts cutting the layers of ignorance, because the soul is already made up of chit. The chit attribute, like we said, right? We are part of God's. The God is Satchitanand, and we are Anusat, Anuchit, Anu Anand. So when we are Anusach, Anuchit, Anu Anand, then chit, or the knowledge aspect, is already there. Only when we start cleaning up the layers around it, it will start manifesting and shining forth. Okay, nothing big is happening. It's just getting to its true state, or entity is just getting reintroduced to itself. We have forgotten ourselves, right? Reintroduced to ourselves. So this is essentially what is going on here. When the knowledge starts coming in and your soul is actually getting closer to its own, realizing its own self, and it starts shining forth. Yes, Sandhya, you had a question?
Yeah, please go
Is
ahead, Sandhya.
this removal of layers irreversible?
See, until we become realized, we are going back and forth. Okay, like a tipsy person, like a drunkard. We used to have that problem in physics. A guy who's tipsy is taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps here and 4 steps here, and he's 50 steps away from it. How long it will take? So something like that is happening. Now, this is a complex algorithm. I cannot say you are going back and forth in this, because somewhere in Bhagavad Gita, this is also said that um, God has said that yoga kshema vyamyaham, that I'm going to preserve what you have gone. So let's say some of the layers that you have removed, is because of some of the spiritual virtues that you have applied, that is preserved for you. Okay. But within that micro framework, we might be taking few steps forward, few here and there, but at a broader level, God is preserving certain things for you as well. How it eventually pans out, I don't know. But the point is, at least there's a promise which gives us a lot of hope and a lot of confidence that whatever work we do on ourselves will become pakka with us. That day is there. But at the same time, we need to preserve as well because we can fast track that growth right now. When you say irreversible, I don't know. There are, at a micro level, we might be taking few steps here, there because our sanskars keep on fluctuating, right? But at a broader level, God probably preserves it. So what we do in normal life is when we do satsang, now we are feeling inspired and all. And then let's say you pick up a phone and start gossiping, then your mind will start fluctuating. That knowledge can slip away. That there, some part of your brain it is there, but it will not become activated unless you keep on contemplating that knowledge. And that is called Kunjar Shachvat by our scripture. Kunjar Shachvat means a bath of an elephant. Elephant goes and takes a bath, and immediately after that, it goes and puts mud on top of it. So that is why preserving ourselves or refraining from kusang is equally important. So that, once the layers are removed, it is pakka, it has gone completely out. Because if you're doing kusang, then that is the fastest way to erode our spiritual merit. It's like somebody is making a rope out of grass, right? You can stitch together grass together and start making a rope. And he's continuing to make a rope, continuing to make a rope. And after a while, he checks how long the rope is. Rope is just this much long. Why? Because all the rope that he had created was being eaten by a bachada back. He was making it and he was eating it, making it, eating it. So that is kusang. Okay. So if we refrain from that, of course, we are getting close. So it's important for us, for our spiritual journey, for our own sake, to preserve it. And God has also promised that Yoga Kshema Vyamyam, I'm going to preserve it for you, which is a huge mercy as well, right? Now, ultimately, we cannot understand God with theoretical knowledge. The key point is this, and material intellect, He's divine. He's divine. And in order to understand something, we need to have something divine, right? Some aspect of divinity unfolding within us. We try to the best of our ability to remove doubts so that you can move forward. Ignorance creates doubts. These could be infinite doubts. But begin with some knowledge and begin the journey. As you begin the journey, you'll get realization and doubts will start falling off. That'll find, and that starts happening because of God's grace. And like in this particular shloka, is saying that He makes it, that knowledge, your realization, and start revealing it from within itself. So if you think about so many saints, they were not, they had never read scriptures like Kabir Das ji, or for that matter, the beautiful compositions of Guru Nanak Dev Ji and all, but they had that knowledge revealed from within. They just had it. They didn't have to read anything because it has become so. If you listen to some of Ji Kabir Ji's dohas, they are so profound, and it cannot happen without realization, and that realization cannot come without God's grace, right? So that means that knowledge is already there within you. It will just get revealed. And in devotion, what happens is you don't even have to seek knowledge. Devotion leads to knowledge, and when you get more knowledge about something, it will propel your devotion forward. And as you get more devotion, your knowledge will automatically get revealed. So they become mutually reinforcing to each other. More devotion, more knowledge, more knowledge, more devotion, more devotion, more knowledge, and finally knowledge caps out. It's like a waning moon. Now you don't need knowledge. That thorn is taken off, and now it's just devotion, and that's about it. You grow the wings of devotion, and that can go on permanently. Yes, Pallavi?
Yeah, Nitinji, there is a message in chat. Himangini ji has mentioned Maya and Gunas may come in the way while the layers are coming off from
Maya,
the soul.
yeah, it will come because our sanskars, they keep on fluctuating. They keep on fluctuating. And when your good sanskars are coming, it's like driving a downhill, bicycle driving downhill. You will feel very inspired. Everything is so easy. You think everything is just clicking and you're riding that wave. But then there will come a time that your bad sanskars will come too. And in those times, you will find a rough ride. you will find it difficult to inspire yourself. You'll say, oh my God, what's happening? I used to feel so inspired. Now my mind is not cooperating. But then with knowledge, see, when you have the benefit of right knowledge, you will understand it's a play of gunas. It's a play of my sanskars. So what happens when the slope is uphill and you are supposed to reach your destination? What do? You pedal harder. When slope is downhill, you can just put it on neutral, right? Like if you put a car in neutral, it will happen automatically. But when it is going is tough, instead of taking a U-turn or stopping, you pedal harder, try harder, and that time will also pass away. So God's tests can come on this way, and He may manifest some of your sanskars to see how determined you are on this path, right? God tests you as well in different ways. And then those are the times when you have to stay put. You cannot just take a U-turn in life and go back to, the cocktail parties and potlucks. Those are the times when you have to stay, and then that phase will also pass away. And then again things will be fine. So that's how it goes. But yes, they will come, definitely come. Your gunas will come into play, your sanskars will come into play. But one with knowledge, that is where knowledge comes in handy. If you have proper knowledge, you will understand. Okay, it's a play of gunas that is happening, play of sanskars happening. I don't need to fall for it. I need to try harder. My mind is not cooperating, but I'm going to force my mind. My intellect is not cooperating, but I'll force my intellect because this is what the knowledge says. So yeah, it can happen. Okay, any other questions on this? Okay, what happened?
Yeah, there is a question in chat, Nitinji.
Sure.
RKG has asked, does that mean removal of layers of ignorance is reversible?
Reversible, I think I answered. That's a bit nuanced answer. It could happen if you are determined not to make it work, then who can help it? So I think as long as we are aligning our free will judiciously, wisely, using it, then it is not reversible. And Krishna himself has said in Bhagavad Gita that whatever spiritual progress you make, I'm going to preserve it for you. So if you have already cut a corner spiritually, typically it becomes a gift for you forever that God will give you when you come back as a human in due course of time. Right? But yeah, we should not underestimate the power of Maya and use our free will judiciously. But at a macro level, I think God takes care of it because He understands. We will keep on fluctuating. Our mind will keep on fluctuating. So hope for the best and then do your best. That's the best we can do. In the path of devotion, let's not become paranoid about it. Even if our bad sanskars will come, we'll enjoy a layer of protection by God and Guru in that sense, right? In fact, they say that we think we are serving Guru is actually serving us. When you are actually aligning to their principles and you have accepted them as a Guru from your heart, they even fight with our bad sanskars and our bad prarabdha and bad sanskars also. Because when you are seriously seeking God, it's well within their power to do that, but they don't violate that law, but they do fight those sanskars as well. How they do that, we don't know. So actually, it is the Guru who is serving you on this path, not you. He's just utilizing your seva to free up his own hands so to grace you, nothing more than that. It's always Guru who's serving you, not you, in that sense. Any other questions? We have a couple of Gita Jayanti spiels lined up today. So one is from, let's start with Cash, are you ready? And then Pallaviji as well today. Two we will have. So in the meantime, you can think of questions, but let's hear it from a newbie's perspective. I think Cash started joining these sessions probably about a couple of weeks back. I would 2 or 3 weeks back. I would let you talk about it. Don't want to steal your thunder. Please go ahead.
I see Falguniji's hand raised.
Yes, Falguniji, you had a question?
Please go ahead, Radhe Radhe.
हाँ
Falguniji.
राधे राधे yeah राधे राधे नहीं just like Nitinji, you said Guru is serving you to get the divine knowledge, right? So hello, can you
Yes,
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So in that, I just, with your permission, Nitinji, I just want to add something which I just read, and it was so meaningful that I feel that it really fits into this sentence
Sure.
which you just said. So
Sure.
there were two streams. So one stream was, and they met somewhere. So one stream asked the other stream, small rivulets, like, so the one stream asked the other stream, how was your journey? So she said, Arey, my journey was so difficult. I could not, I had so many difficulties on the way. This happened to me, that happened to me, and so on. So the other stream asked, how was your journey? So she said, oh, my journey was beautiful. I came down the mountains and there were children who were playing in the water and there were trees on the way and so on. And suddenly there was a huge river, and the river said, come, come, everybody come to me. I'll just take you to the big ocean. Come to me, just come to me and just surrender to me, and I will, take you to the big ocean. So that is like the river is like the Guruji who says, come to me and I'll give you all the knowledge. Yeah. Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
Very nice. Thank you for sharing that, Falgunji. That's a beautiful story and a beautiful analogy as well. Oh, you have to, yep. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
All right. Sandhya, you wanted to say something as well before we get into that Gita Jayanti testimonial or Gita related?
Yeah, I wanted to actually ask. So you were talking about when sanskars are favorable, we might be in the enthusiastic, self-driven mode, and it's a downhill thing where even if we are in a neutral sort of a mode, we will keep going further. So this might be a stupid question, but is it necessary to be in neutral mode at that point, or if you are still in like, full acceleration, can that be?
Am I allowed to give a stupid answer? Okay.
You will never give a stupid answer.
No, see, it's when the things are, it's like make hay while the sun shines. So when the going is smooth, why not make the most of it rather than limiting ourselves if, I would look at it that way. Because see, our homework is fine, fixed. So when the situation is favorable, make the most of it, right? If we, like, for example, if we have gotten a human birth, which is the first grace of God, secondly, having getting the guidance from saints, which is the second blessings of God, and third is having a hunger. That is why we are here. Reading these scriptures or trying to understand Bhagavad Gita. And if the factors are converging and situation circumstances are converging, why not go full blown, full throttle? Because we don't know if so many factors are going to converge in any other lifetime or not. We don't know how the situation is going to be. Are we going to get any favorable situation? Will we have the same hunger? Will we get a same guidance from a saint? And when are we going to become a human? We don't know that. So why not make it? We take it for granted. Oh, we'll come back and do it. Why not make it if you think it that way? So when situation is favorable, we should try to make the most of it. Yeah, it's like save for the rainy day, work hard while things are going good, because that is only going to
Absolutely.
happen after a while.
Yes.
So yeah, Pratyusha.
Yes, Pratyusha ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. I just want to say something, like two things. First is, I was just wondering about the impurities and all of that. So I was just like, see, any jiva with a body, like with my understanding, limited understanding, I've realized that it has soul, it has a subtle body, and it has a causal body. Right. So causal body is the reason why we have subtle body, and we have कोई कारण रहेगा तो वो करने के लिए हम शरीर लेंगे और हम आएंगे, right? So what I have realized is when we take divine knowledge in, we drop our desires. So we are actually working directly on our causal body. We are shedding it. So the reasons for taking more and more births are actually getting stopped. So because otherwise we'll keep coming back and keep coming. So we are actually working on our causal body when we are trying to improve, trying to change ourselves, work on ourselves, all our samskar. So that is one point that I felt. And second is about how how saints help. So anything you read, any person you come in touch, so you keep thinking about them or stuff. So I had a friend. So she was like, I don't know whether I should say this, but she kind of sees ghosts, and she was really scared. She used to tell me all of that, and she was really scared. And to a point that I don't know about all of this. And when she told me, and she showed me some signs and all of that, so I got really scared. So, and and that's, it just, when I came back home for next few days, I was really scared. I don't know, I just got those thoughts in and stuff. And then I was, I hear a lot of people. So I had a dream, and in my dream, there was a big snake. I don't know, it's like anaconda kind of a thing, and it was trying to attack a lot of kids. And I was hiding, and I was trying to hide a lot of how much I can those kids. But then I saw that it was just finding those kids and eating, and then I just came out and I said, okay, let me fight it, and let me fight it. Otherwise, I will do my best. Okay, it was a dream. So I saw what I have. I have a small knife, and the knife is not even sharp. And then I just went and tried my best to cut it on, and at last I thought, okay, I'm going to die because this was a big snake and it's going to eat me or, kill me. And at that time, a lady came and she just held the snake for me and said, cut it. And I was so, I don't know. I mean, you cut it. And it was, and I looked at her and she looked like my mom. And, I just took it and I started cutting it, the snake, and its head came out, separated. And when I woke up, I was fearless. I cannot tell you, nobody in this world can, scare me for anything. So that, and that fearlessness, it goes to me till this day, no matter what, I'm fearless. So I think in different ways, and I think in something I heard or some blessings, but it's there. So I think that's how the sayings help, I think.
Well, thanks for sharing the story. Anything could be a catalyst for you to cut a corner, right? In that sense, in this case, that helped, that experience, although in dream, that helped you overcome fear. That's good. It's a causal body thing that you spoke about initially. In this case, if you finish off your desire, there's no reason for you to take birth again, right? But in path of devotion, we don't finish off our desire. We dovetail our desire towards God. So that in bhav de, you start serving God. So this is a little different, one is you seize your desires, right? Like Buddhism says there are, misery and the reason for miseries. There's a reason for misery and the reason is desire. You finish desire, you finish misery. In devotion, we say no, you dovetail your desires. Desires the higher thing, God itself. And when you start desiring God, because desire is very natural to us, then you automatically start aligning to the principle of serving God and acquiring all the Devic gunas, basically all the virtues that we talk about. But yes, your correlation with causal body is because of our desires is correct, because that makes us God, like an indulgent father says, all right, be my guest. You had some unfulfilled desires, take a birth again. I'll put you in a suitable womb. You have to go through the karmic cycle and then keep playing the game as long as you think this is what you want. Great. Thank you, Pratyusha. Now let's move on to our Gita Jayanti testimonials. I would really like to hear from Cash, starting with Cash, and then Pallaviji. I know you're lined up as well. So let's hear from them what you have to say, how Gita has been changing stuff for you, and a little bit about your experience of joining the sessions as well. So over to you, Cash, if you can.
Yeah, Kashji, are you ready?
Yes, Radhe. So I've been attending for the last month or so. And first of all, a big thank you is owed to me by my dear friend Moni, because she's earning a lot of spiritual commission by introducing me to these classes. No, I'm kidding. I'm very grateful to her for bringing me here. So over the past few weeks, I feel like I've tasted a bit of the pudding and I've found a bit of the proof. I'll share some of my most impactful insights, right? So in the past, I feel like life has thrown me some multiple choice decisions. They're not as difficult as our Kahoot ones, but they're ones where I've agonized whether I made the right choices, because I've wanted to make them in accordance to divine will, but I've struggled to discern what that might be. So a few days ago, when I learned that the scriptures say that a pure heart and best intentions, that's your insurance, that brought me a lot of relief and peace. So realization number one, I have faith in the Bhagavad Gita, but that faith coupled with knowledge on how to apply it, that I think made all the difference. Next, I'm seeking, spiritual. I'm on a spiritual quest. I have been, and it's taken me from one place to another. But with that quest, there comes a trepidation. There are so many things I still don't connect with fully. Not all the puzzle pieces are fitting. But then I start to see that grace does play a part. Because I've read the Bhagavad Gita before, but now some of it is actually starting to sink in. And so when you talk about, going from understanding to understanding, that struck a chord, because what it means to me is take what you understand and keep building on it. And that gives me some sort of quiet reassurance that as long as I continue to seek in the right direction, things will keep getting revealed. And so that's realization number 2 for me. So my approach to spiritual seeking has evolved, I think. And as far as these sessions go, I see that I'm at the back of a long line of people who agree that Krishna has chosen the most suitable instrument to impart his teachings. And we get lured like Krishna's basuri to these classes every day. So thank you, Nitinji. And to all the participants here, there really are moments when I find the devotion dripping across my screen. And I think, how did I land up amongst all these ardent devotees? And then I hope some of that devotion rubs off on me. And I feel grateful to have found this tribe of people. We all have a common goal of spiritual elevation. So just to bring it back full circle, I know we have heard from a few folks that have been here 2 years, 3 years, and you heard about their experiences. And I know time is relative, but since I've been here just a few weeks and something is unfolding, I see I've had real, tangible, transformative experiences. So I cannot wait to just keep coming back and keep continuing on this quest. So thank you. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Cash, and it's a pleasure to have you on these sessions. I must say that I think time was probably ripe for you, right? When it has to happen, it just happens, and then it just clicks, right? Things start falling in place. And the good thing is, you're able to articulate it so well, things that you have picked up and how it has helped you fit some of the pieces in the puzzle that probably, were not falling in place earlier. But very nice. I think we are all very fortunate that I keep on saying that we are on this wonderful journey. We have this beautiful platform, and then we have so many ways we are enriching each other's days and this journey. So it's a wonderful path that we are on, and I must say it's a privilege to have you here. And thank you the fact that you've started doing seva as well. I'll not say much because I know you want to stay in the back behind the scenes, but thank you for that. And pleasure to have you. I'm sure these reflections and these things will only become better with time. That is the beauty of this knowledge. So thank you again for straight from the heart realization, sharing it with us, and for the for making it a priority to be on these sessions. It's a really a privilege to have you here. Thank you again for that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, next is Pallavi ji. Okay, Vinod ji, you wanted to say something before we move to Pallavi ji?
Yes. We are talking about Bhagwan and Atma, and I came across something that had a profound effect on me. And it came from Guru Nanak ji and Guru Bani, I believe, somewhere there. And what it is that the wave, the small wave, does not know that it is the ocean. The wave doesn't realize that it is the ocean. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Vinod ji. That's pretty profound. The wave has to realize that it is the ocean, right? Or at least it has the potential to be an ocean. So thank you so much for sharing that. And it's always a pleasure to hear from you, Vinod ji and Minu ji as well. Let's move on to Pallavi ji now. Pallavi ji, all yours. We are all ears for you now. And Pallavi ji is also one of the very first participants, started all with all of us on this journey. So I still remember about 3 years back we started. So Pallavi ji, all yours now.
Radhe Radhe. Good evening, good morning, everyone. So first of all, Kashji, such a wonderfully you expressed and how beautifully you expressed. Thank you so much for your beautifully heartfelt expression. So first of all, thank you for this opportunity and thank you for giving this opportunity. And I'm extremely fortunate to be part of JK Yog family and part of Daily Wisdom from Bhagavad Gita family. I always look forward to the session, and that's what I'm looking forward to talk about my journey, my learnings. How can I describe what I have learned, what I have been learning? I mean, there are so many, my every being, every core of my being has really transformed into different positive effects. But I have today picked up like top 3 golden nuggets that I would like to share with all of you. And I'm sure many of you will be able to relate with that. So first golden nugget that I definitely want to share with all of you is the challenge that we took to fill in the void by chanting and by taking the name of Lord Krishna's or Bhagwanji's name. This has done miracle in my life. I remember last year we all took up this challenge. And after this, I can't believe what started happening in my life. And it felt like, the philosopher's stone, Nitinji, how you say that Paras has touched my mind. That's what something started happening. First benefit that I reaped from it was my mind was getting attached automatically to Bhagwanji, and all the negative thoughts, all the wasteful, negative, worthless things that come in our mind, like someone said to this, someone did that, someone did wrong, blah, 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 all that negative chanter that mind keeps doing it started cutting away. It started falling apart from my mind. And I started like thinking about God. I started thinking about Leela. And that was a kind of bliss, which when the situation was happening around me and the chaos, I'm like, I don't need to get inside the chaos. I'm in a better place. So that had a magical effect in my mind. And thank you so much for showing this challenge. I think during the course being in JK Yoga, I think I have done multiple challenges of happiness challenge, mind management challenge that Swamiji has always, he brings up a lot of beautiful challenges. And every challenge has left a profound impact and very powerful impact. This is something, one nugget I really want to share with all of you, that this has really done a powerful impact in myself. And the second golden nugget that I want to share is keeping this sacred time for our daily satsang. This is miracle. This is a miracle. As Nitinji mentioned, last 3 years, I have been attending daily wisdom. Thank you, Nitinji, so much for facilitating such a wonderful session. But the impact is so profound. It feels like it is like being how we do the weeding of our garden. That's how it works on my mind. It had, like how Swamiji says, that he has iterated that we need to always activate the knowledge in our mind. And that kind of impact I had with this session. Throughout the day, we go through different experiences. We go through different negative thoughts, different events, incidences happen, which impact our mind and create so many thoughts. But once we sit and have this session, all the negative starts again. It is like taking the weed out of like the garden to protect our plant of devotion and bhakti. So this is how this satsang has been impactful and powerfully impacted all of us. the kind of beautifully presented slides, Nitinji's graphs and charts and soul segment, devotional segment, each and every edition brings so much power in our devotion. Thank you so much again, Nitinji, for that. And the third nugget that I really want to share is about Swamiji's Bhagavad Gita book itself. How Swamiji has put the commentary very comprehensive yet easy to understand. It really sinks in. In it can sink in. If I think I can understand, many of people can understand that. And especially my favorite words, karmanya vadika raste ma phalesu kadachana ma karma phal hetur pur mate sangostu karmani. Sorry. So especially the third point here, that while working, keep the pride of non-doer. Like don't keep the pride of being a doer. So that has kind of, we were talking about stress. So I can see, once we think that we are doing, it overwhelms us with stress that we have to do this, that, this, that. But the moment we think that he's the enabler and we are the instrument, that is the time feel so much relieved. All the stress, all the pains, all the many times it happens that many such responsibilities fall in our plate, which we are not even ready for that okay, or maybe we don't want to take those responsibilities. But once it falls on our plate, the perspective, when it becomes that he's the enabler, and if he wants us to become instrument and wants to take care of that responsibility, then I will do it the best of my abilities. I think the total perspective changes, and that is what Bhagavad Gita brings that in within us. So it has been amazing learning, and I believe that I have already shared my journey in the beginning, that I was a believer that life is an ice cream, just enjoy it before it melts. And from there, moving on to the journey, that life is a candle, find the purpose and spread the joy. I mean, that is a different kind of belief itself. And journey, I think I can say that my journey is kind of from being a selfish to learning to become how to become selfless. So it's a long way to go, but yeah, that's what moving on in the correct path. So thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you, Radhika.
Thank you, Pallavi. I think your excitement was so palpable. You were falling short of words to explain what you have gone through and what all have. So, but yeah, these are good learnings, and you can just imagine, right, how much jump we have given to our souls just by contemplating on this knowledge, and how empowering and liberating it is, right? When we are able to implement it in our lives and see ourselves change, in so many ways. Otherwise, those things would have bogged us down, worn us down, and it feels so good to get into this state. But yeah, I think the credit must go to you as well for being so consistent for the past 3 years, because it's only through the repetition, it's only through the consistency, it's only through that open-mindedness, right, that we approach this knowledge, then the magic starts to unfold, of course, by God's grace. But you were ticking all the boxes there, and that is a testimony to what all you said right now, right? But yeah, best wishes to you. We are on this journey and it has barely started. I don't know how long it will continue, but it will continue for as long as Krishna desires. But yeah, best wishes and thank you again for a very straight from the heart testimonial and articulating it so well. How your journey has unfolded over the last 3 years. I'm sure a lot of participants would like to say things as well, but wish you the very best. And to Cash, again, wish you the very best. And thank you for both of you for coming forward and sharing, your experience and how this journey has been unfolding for you. It is very reassuring to know that the session is serving its purpose and also very inspiring to a lot of people around, how it can change lives. We just need to have a right mindset to approach this knowledge, and if you're consistent enough, God will take care of us. He will make sure this knowledge, tidbits of knowledge, will start changing things in our lives, and the magic inside us as well. So thank you so much for that. I can see a few hands, so I'll give an opportunity, open up the floor for other comments as well.
Nitinji, you have been the most inspiring person. Like the kind of commitment you have is amazing.
I'm just doing my seva, and you all give me the reason, right, to turn up every day and do something different, right? Otherwise, if you are not showing up, I feel it as a responsibility. You're giving me 60 minutes of your life every day, right? Sometimes 70, 80 as well. So I better make it worth it. That itself is a good enough motivation for me. But like I always say, I'm the biggest gainer as well. I am learning it on a day-to-day basis. And then, of course, God and gurus, they take care of it, right? They just make it happen. The required help, ideas, thoughts, everything, they just fall in place. So I should thank each one of you for that. Yes, Monica ji, go ahead. Wanted to say something. So you are just sitting on a lot of commission, that much I know. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. So Pallavi ji just stole my words. I was about to say the same thing. That Nitin ji, thank you for being such a wonderful instrument for all of us. All these testimonials, I mean, wonderful testimonials, first of all. But then these testimonials are coming, so candidly and straight out of the heart, because you made that happen. I'm sure this is obviously coming from Swamiji, but then you are the one who's actually doing this seva, where you've really placed all of us in our happy spaces. And then I'm short of words, but thank you so much, seriously.
करते हो तुम कन्हैया मेरा नाम हो रहा है. I've seen that bhajan, right? I can tell you that much is happening. Of course, when I'm happy to play that instrument, turning up every day, but end of the day, Krishna knows, how to build a hook and how to get somebody and what to show them, right? So I don't know what's happening, to be honest, but whatever is happening is good. I hope that continues and keeps on going to the next level, and happy to play that instrument alone, right? So just pray that motivation, that everything continues and it continues to go better from here on. Yes, go ahead.
Till you have Arnima ji with you. That's another thing that I wanted to say, that she's the one who's actually sacrificing a lot of time,
I know.
your time, right? So she's the one who's actually, I would say, very, very strong backing for you, Nitin ji. Very strong support.
Of course, see, it cannot happen if you don't get the right support at home, right?
Yes.
If at home is saying, okay, why are you doing this session and we need to go out to see that movie or that session, or we need to have that time, it will not be possible. So of course, there's a lot of family commitment and sacrifice that goes along with that. And I've been lucky in that sense. I don't know how much commission was she earning. I always tell her, the harder I work, the luckier you get. But yes, it's a lot of support and commitment for sure. And I see her name, at least I don't know if he's fallen asleep. So if you want to come and share something, I would like to invite you over as well. Arnima is there as well. Let's hear from her perspective as well. Is it, what all she has to endure because of this? But yes, it's working out, and I'm sure stars will keep on aligning, at least for these sessions. Right. So yes. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. You want to say something, Arnima?
I'm in office call, so I cannot talk right now. Sorry.
Office can wait. Okay, no worries. That's fine. But yeah, I should be thankful to God for aligning all these stars, because it's not a simple undertaking. Trust me. When I started off this, I had no clue how it's going to work out. And people used to ask me all the corporate questions. Okay, who's your backup? What happens when you travel? You have not thought through it. What if something comes up? There's so many factors, because you're taking this commitment of doing it. But see, it just works out. And it works out magically well. I mean, I don't know, when I have canceled the sessions, rarely do I mean, it happens when I'm traveling, but for most part of it, we are able to manage it, right? And it just works out. And I hope it continues like that. I'm hopeful it works for India. I'll see how that goes. But the most interesting session that I've taken is a couple of them that at least come to my memory. One from a mall in Seattle. Okay, with so much of noise going on, somehow it worked out. And second one was when my hotspot gave away and I had to do it from a car. So these two sessions I still remember, but they worked out all right. So the stress testing has already happened in different scenarios. So I hope it continues. Yes, you wanted to add something else, Monica ji? How
No,
does
that's
it
it,
feel
Nitin ji.
sitting on so
Thank
much
you.
of commission, earning from commission itself, every day?
आपके पीछे पीछे जाएंगे गोलोक.
आप लोग जाओगे तो मेरा नाम ले लेना. That's all I want.
आप पहले जाओगे, वो तो शर्त है.
You guys are पहुंचा हुआ people anyways. Yes, anybody else who wants to say? I know we had a pretty long session. Yes, Sandhya, you wanted to say something or sing something?
Sandhya ji, go ahead.
I first of all wanted to thank both of them, Cash ji and Palvi ji, for beautiful testimonials. And you stole my words. I wanted to mention this, that your commitment to taking these sessions is so infectious and inspiring. Like this small thing, Seattle thing. And then even recently, you skipped all your office related gatherings and you were making excuses there just to make sure that you're taking our classes. And this is something I've not seen anywhere, and I really, really admire this. So thank you so much.
Don't
And
put it
I
on the
strongly
record. What if somebody from my office is attending? Who knows, man? Anyways,
and I strongly feel that you were kind of born for taking daily wisdom from Bhagavad Gita classes.
did you say born or bond?
Born. You are a born too, but yeah.
Kidding. No, it just fell. I think I should be. I'm very grateful to and feel very lucky to have this service. And yes, it's one of the best things that have happened. I can say that for sure. So pray to God and say that keep blessing me so that this thing remains intact and I can continue this. Okay, that much you can pray because so far things have aligned and I hope it continues as well. So we'll keep doing our best and together we'll continue to progress on this journey. Yes, Manishi, you wanted to add something as well?
Radhe Radhe Manish ji, please go ahead.
Manish.
Radhe Radhe, Pallavi,
Radhe Radhe.
Sandhya ji, Nitin ji, and everyone. Yeah, wonderful testimonial by Cash ji and Pallavi ji. Very heartfelt and their learnings. And we were covering about stress, Nitin ji. I wanted to share what has helped me to become stress-free and worry-free is the aspect of prasad buddhi. And I have applied that in my day-to-day life. And with all the things that have gone on in my wife's health and all that stuff within the last several years. And that has actually helped me to become stress-free, worry-free. And I actually have my son's surgery, back surgery coming up tomorrow morning. But I'm not worried about it because I know that God will do whatever is best for him and for the family and for myself. So I have full faith in everything. Whatever happens is for the best. So it has helped me. Obviously, I also put in my best effort at whatever I'm able to do, then leave the rest to God. And then also adopted Swamiji's famous slogan of NATO, not attached to outcome. So those things have tremendously helped me to become stress-free, worry-free about anything and everything. I take it as a prasad from God. So I think just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Thank you, Manishi. I know you've been going through a lot and the fact that you're able to take it so with so much of poise and perspective is truly hats off to you for that because I know your situation and it's very tricky for you, but I'm glad you are deriving all the strength that you need and I'm sure you'll be able to sail through this as well. So thank you for that. By the way, I wanted to let you know tomorrow I'll be traveling to Bharat, so we'll not be able to have our class. So those of you who are preparing for quiz, you'll have to study again probably for next week. But then we have another class, the spiritual secrets from Hinduism, that is coming on Friday. So don't miss out on that class. If you missed out on the first one, second one is going to be even better. Sunday, you wanted to say something about it? Promote your own class and talk something great about it so that everybody can join as well. That's going to be on Friday though. So
I mean, this is the topic for the upcoming class is this. It's about relationships. So we will together understand why relationships are delicate from the Vedic perspective. and how we can actually work, make them most efficient, using the analogy of bank accounts. So, yeah.
Bank accounts, that seems so exciting. I'll be in the plane, I guess, but I would love to join and hear about it as well. So that's going to be interesting for sure. Great. So please do attend that session. And then I will be seeing you on Sunday evening. It'll be Monday morning. Okay, by the way, and do that. So we'll get back into that schedule from next week. And then we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you posted. But most of the times, I think we should be able to have our sessions as well. So yes, Samji, you wanted to say something too? Or you wanted to sing today?
Please go ahead. Samji, Radhe Radhe.
Yeah, that'll be the day. Anyway.
Samji, before you say anything, you have been there right from day one. I know that.
Right, I have been for 3 years.
You have been
The very
listening,
first session.
talking, playing quiz. The singing is the only thing you need to do now. Okay. So
Right.
maybe one of these days you will oblige us. But yes, please
एक
go.
आध निंदक भी तो होना चाहिए ना, तो कटाक्ष आपसे पंगा लेने के लिए time to time I have been little bit interviewing you on the online or otherwise also. But anyway, I learned a lot through your the sessions. Before that, I used to be kind of with my previous Swamiji more towards the Advait. So slowly with your teachings, Swamiji's teachings and your guidance, I've been a little bit leaning towards the Dvait with Krishna consciousness. Of course, like I mentioned, my son is a strength believer in ISKCON, and like last year, he and me were in the ISKCON Dallas. 3,000 people were there, and like that. But anyway, I enjoy your sessions. So excuse me, time to time I've been bothering you.
No, Sanjay, in fact, it is good because you take it so sincerely. It's my limitation that I've not been able
No,
to
not yours.
reciprocate as well as I would love to. But please keep it on. It's not at all. It's my seva, so I'll do whatever best. But yeah, work-wise,
Thankful to you
sometimes I
and to
get
the
overwhelmed. So yeah.
Thank you.
And yes, Madhuchanda ji. Okay. Thank you, Samji. Samji, by the way, Samji, Shyamji. In fact, when somebody would call Samji, I would think Shyamji. You always used to get confused between these two names. So they have been like right from day one. So all the familiar faces is always good to know that. So I'm used to seeing Shyamji, Samji, Pallaviji, Amrutawani ji, and there used to be Sumesh ji. Okay, they used to come five faces every day. That used to be the Bhagwan. Now we have a lot more, of course. But this is how we had started it about 3 years back, and we've come a long way since then. We'll celebrate our 1,000 days very soon as well.
And there is a comment from Pratusha ji. My only regret is why I did not join earlier.
You're not lost out on anything, trust me. I'm telling you, if you continue here for 2-3 months, we would have gone through length and breadth, because that is the whole idea, right? But we go make sure that all the foundational core concepts are reiterated so much that you're not losing out on the key part of Bhagavad Gita. The key topics will come invariably here and there. But good, you're part of it, and we feel so good to have you, Pratusha. And we are going to make sure that your left brain is used to the maximum, because I've heard multiple times that you're very, very creative. So welcome on board. Welcome aboard, Adar. Yeah, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam. Somebody was chanting, so that's good. Okay, are we good then? Or is there anybody
Yeah,
want to
Samji has asked, do we have session tomorrow? And I
No,
think that's
tomorrow we
what you
will not
mentioned,
have.
that tomorrow we
Yeah,
don't
I'll
have.
be traveling, so I told them go ahead and do the quiz, but they're very reluctant to do it. So let's not have it tomorrow. Let's keep it simple.
Yeah.
Have it on Sunday evening.
And some people are requesting for the YouTube video of today's class, so that will be released tomorrow. And you can check the channel. I can share the link here in the chat, so you can check, and it will be available tomorrow.
We can make a
And
series of all these testimonials that have
testimonials, right?
over the
Yeah.
last. Yeah, it will be very nice to do that. I think we used to do that in the past. But thank you, Cash, and thank you, Pallavi, for your so
Beautiful testimonials.
beautiful
Yeah.
testimonials. Yeah, thank you so much for that. It's always good to know, right? Because sometimes you don't know what you are doing, you know, how's it helping. So it's always good when you put it to words. It helps to know, you know, how things can, transformations can happen. So which is good. Yeah, Rahul, you wanted to add something?
I just wanted to add 2 lines. I just made it.
Sure.
Radhe Radhe Govind Govind Radhe. Daily wisdom from Bhagavad Gita. Nitin ji se padhwa de. Radhe Radhe.
Oh my God. That
Wow.
means,
Wow.
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 Thank you for that. I hope to keep living up to the expectations, but with God and Guru's grace, I'm sure something good will continue to happen. Anything else, or we are good for the day now? Anybody wants to do a quick chant? Pallavi, you wanted to sing today? Anybody who wants to chant? Maybe we can.
I can chant. Okay.
All right, go ahead, please. And then maybe one or two chants, and we'll wrap it up then, because we're going to have a long break now. A little bit of.
Radhe Govind Govind Radhe, Radhe Govind Govind Radhe, Radhe Govind Govind Radhe, Radhe Govind Govind Radhe.
Mukti, you want to sing?
I have bad throat, so I'm not able to sing that much. But yeah.
That's fine. Okay, anybody else, or Swatiji, you wanted to say something, or? I wanted to sing a song for Shyamji. Shyamji, I don't see him, otherwise I would have sung a couple of lines for him. If he comes
Shyamji was
back,
he raised hand and
he
then
comes back on video, I'll sing 2 lines for him. If he doesn't, then no. In the meantime, Swatiji, please go ahead.
Rather, I'll sing only 2-3 lines on Guru only. Guru Kripalur Mama Sharanam Vandeham Satguru Charanam Guru Kripalur Mama Sharanam Vandeham Satguru Charanam Mangalamapi Mangalakaranam Vandeham Satguru Charanam Maya Moha Jal Haranam Vandeham Satguru Charanam Gopi Prema Bhav Bharanam Vandeham Satguru Charanam Guru Kripalur Mama Sharanam Vandeham Satguru Charanam. Thank you, Radhe Radhe.
Thank you. Very nice, Swatiji. Okay, I'll sing like I promised, I'll sing 1 line for Shyamji. But I've forgotten the complete bhajan, so maybe a couple of lines. Shyam Sundar Hamaro Yaar, लखन को जिया लल के, श्याम सुंदर हमारो यार, लखन को जिया लल के, जिनके सिर मोर मुकुट राजे, I've forgotten. श्याम सुंदर हमारो यार, लखन को जिया लल के, राधे गोविंद गोविंद बोल, राधे राधे गोविंद बोल. Shyam Sundar. Shyamji, the complete name I filled in for that. Okay. So are we good? Rahul, you wanted to say something, or we can wrap up the session now?
Rahulji wanted to share something.
Go ahead, Rahul.
Yeah, please go
I
ahead.
can sing 4 lines, otherwise it's okay. Maybe
No,
next.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, let me share my screen. Yeah, let me know once you can see the screen.
Yes.
So we were talking about the Asht Mahasakis. So the first Mahasaki is serving betel leaves or pan to Shyama Shyam. The second Mahasaki is providing colorful garments. And then now we will talk about the third and fourth one. Radhe Radhe Govind Govind Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe, Ek Rang Devi, Govind Radhe, Vivid Bhati Bhushan, Vivid Bhati Bhushan Pahirade. Not sure about the exact tuning, but yeah. Ek Sakhi Tung Vidya Govind Radhe, Gayan Vadan Shravan Karade, Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe. Radhe Radhe.
Very nice, Rahul. Wonderful. So I'll take the liberty to wrap it up with 4 lines as well. Okay, this is the last one, promise. This is the whole essence of scriptures Maharaj Ji had said, right? So it is related to Radha Govind Gita only. It says, Hari Guru Bhajanit Govind Radhe Bhavanish Kam Ananya Banade. Hari Guru Bhajanit Govind Radhe, worship or keep in your thoughts your God and Guru. Bhav Nishkam Ananya Banade, and make your sentiments, Nishkam means selfless and Ananya means exclusive. If you do these 4 things, it has served the purpose of the entire scriptures. Nothing else is needed to know. Maharaj has given that. So thank you again to each one of you for a wonderful session, and have a blessed rest of your week. You can attend the Friday session, and I look forward to seeing you on Sunday evening, Monday morning, from a completely different geographical location across the Atlantic and Pacific, okay, which is Bharat, by the way. So Radhe Radhe, good day, good night from my side. Thank you.
Shilpa ji just said that this was like a Jugalbandi of Radha Govind Geet.
Shilpa ji, is it our Nightingale of
Shilpa ji
Bhakti
from
or
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles? Yes, today was like that only.
Yeah. Radhe Radhe. Thank
Radhe
you
Radhe.
again.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you, Nitin ji, and happy journey, safe flight, and
Dhanyavad.
stay blessed, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Radhe Radhe.